Imagine having a smart AI agent on your website that handles sales for you. When someone starts chatting, it instantly answers the questions, suggests the perfect product, and shares a direct purchase link. But here's the incredible part: it actually learns from every conversation, improving its ability to guide users. Now, the truth is that most websites still don't have anything like this, which means that you have a major opportunity to get ahead by learning how to build one right now. The challenge: there's no straightforward way to create a professional, clean looking AI agent on your website using low code tools like n8n until now. In this tutorial, I'll walk you through building a stunning self-learning AI agent that you can embed on any website and use as your always available sales assistant, even if you've never done this before or felt overwhelmed trying. All the tools and links mentioned in the video are available for you right below in the description. Stay with me till the end and you get access to a customizable AI chat widget, one that you can paste on your website, connect to any AI agent, and fully brand to match your business. We'll build this AI agent on a platform called n8n, which allows you to design effective workflow automations and AI agents without needing to know how to code. To get started, click on the website, sign up for a free trial, and once done, you'll be directed to the dashboard. And over here, click on Create Workflow, and the starting point of this workflow is a chat trigger. We select Make Chat Available Publicly. We choose Embedded Chat because we will later put it on a website. As an option, we need to select this and then add a field called Response Mode. Later, we'll send this to what's called a webhook. Next, we need to use an Edit Fields node. We click on the plus icon and we go into the search and look for Edit Fields. And once we're in there, we don't have to change anything right now. But first, we need to trigger our chat. Click Open Chat, type in anything, and then we'll get the data. Here, we want to map the field called chat input, and we'll name it just text. So the reason why we triggered the chat before we came into edit fields is because we need to get this input on the left hand side so that we can drag and drop the expression. Next, we set up our heart of our system, the AI agent node. These modules are called nodes, and there are three things we need to set up. One is the chat model. This is the brain of the AI agent. By itself, this model doesn't do anything much. We need to give it the ability to use AI to think and perform tasks. In this case, we want it to respond to a customer messaging the chatbot. That will later be set up on our website. So we need to give it AI functionality. There are different models you can choose from. In this case, I'll pick the OpenAI chat model. If you've never used OpenAI in your n8n before, click New Credentials. You'll need an API key. You can get this by clicking the resource document linked below this video. Click Get API Key for OpenAI, then sign up at platform.openai.com. You can use the same account you use for ChatGPT. Once signed in, go to Settings. First, go to Billing, add some credits. Even $5 will do. Then go to API keys. Click on create new secret key. Name it anything you want. Copy it, paste it in your n8 credentials area and click save. Make sure to keep it safe because this secret key is only shown once. Okay, so the credential successfully created and we have a connection. And now from the list, we choose GPT-4o. Next, we add a memory. So we'll first add a short-term memory and later we'll add a long-term memory so the agent can remember interactions, conversations with any visitor. Right now, let's add a short-term memory. Choose the window buffer memory option. This helps the AI agent remember what's being said so far, so it can reference the full interaction. The context video length determines how many interactions it remembers. This depends on the average number of interactions your visitors have with the chat box, something you'll know when this is a live widget. Next, we select the field below and put it in the key, which becomes a session ID. Before we continue, let's test if our agent can already respond. Let's select text under prompt user message as input. This is just a small little setting that we have to change. Ask, how are you? And you'll see that it replies. So it works. Now we continue with the setup. What separates a real AI agent from a basic chatbot is the ability to access tools. Here, we'll add a tool. It can be any of these or even a custom tool. Say, right now, we're going to use Google Sheet database. This allows AI agent to access a list of products and their descriptions so it knows about your products and can recommend them, even send that purchase link. I've prepared a Google Sheet over here in the links that I have below. Um, it includes columns for product, link, price, description. I've already prepared my own sheet with this data. So back in workflow, I'll create a new credential and connect it to the same Google account where my sheet lives. Now the sheet is all about the products that I have on my website, which is swankytools.com. So then I select the account, click continue, and when the connection is successful, I select get row as the operation. So now for the document, I select product sales AI agent and the sheet name is products. As a filter, choose data location on the sheet. Only search until the last empty row. Well, it says first empty row over there, which is basically the last once the products are filled in. Click Save. I rename this node to Product Info. Click Save, and now we can continue. Next, go to your AI agent node, scroll down, click Add Options, and select System Message. This is where you give it instructions, what it should do, what tools it can use, and how. I've already made a huge prompt instructions for the system, and they contain a few parts that we haven't yet set up yet, but just paste it so we can do this later. This message tells the agent the current date and time. So it also instructs the agent to always check the product description column if the user mentions any product or related topic. And most importantly, it should never tell the user it's accessing a Google Sheet behind the scenes. That part stays invisible to the user. If the user asks for a product link, the agent must retrieve the correct one from the sheet, so the user can just click and buy. The rest of the system instructions contain sections we'll implement later, but it's okay to paste the full message now. We'll build out the feature as we go. Let's test the current setup by typing, "What products do you have?" Something like that. The AI should now access our Google Sheet and reply with the available product names and include the direct links. As you see, it responded with items like AI automation agent, templates, and other things that Swanky Tools have on their website. So the part works now, and what we need to do right now is set up a long-term memory so that AI can store insights and context, like like emails and things like that, that the customer or the user gives or provides on the chat. So this is the true self-learning ability where it can actually learn while customers interact with the agent. So we'll use a backend database called Supabase for this. Go to the link in the description to sign up for a free account. Enter your name and email address. After verifying your email, you'll be asked to create an organization. Just enter any name and type of organization. Now, set a database password, create project. Once inside, go to Table Editor, create new table. This will store our chat interaction data. Let's name it something like, whatever you want to name it, you can name it. The description doesn't matter. So now we define the columns. This is what information we want to store from our user. We'll add the following: name, email, memory, which is also text as type. This will store the insights and conversation history. And the session ID, which is text again. This uniquely identifies each chat session. Click Save. Now connecting the Supabase to n8n, you go back to your workflow in n8n, you'll see the fields that need to be filled in to connect Supabase. Go to Supabase project. Now rename this node to store underscore memory. Under table, select one you just created, in this case, the one you just named. Now define the values that should be stored for each column. Make sure you switch to expression mode whenever you're doing all these things so that you can understand that the expression mode means there is JavaScript involved. Okay, session ID and then click save. Retrieving the stored memory, you need to create another um, node where we add another Supabase node and connect it to the same table. So this time, get it set to the operation get many. This will fetch all the relevant saved data. Again, select the table name, same as before. Set the filter to none. Rename the node to get memory. Now click save and let's test this entire thing again. Now open chat. You can clear the old messages and type what products do you have or anything relatable to something like that. Now go to your Supabase dashboard. You'll see a new entry and the memory is also populated. It will now save this information into the Supabase table. You'll see the record update, memory, name, email, and session ID are all saved. Now that the memory works, let's move to the final step, putting our chat widget on a real website and connecting it to our AI agent. We'll use a free tool called CodePen, and we sign up for a free CodePen account, and inside you'll have three panels, which is HTML, CSS, and JS. We don't need CSS and JS right now, so we pull them down. We'll paste the HTML widget code inside the HTML pane. This code is already prepared for you. You'll find it in the description below. Now there are two codes over there. One is one CDN which I've created, but that's something I'm working on. So now inside this HTML code, you'll see placeholders, one for the webhook URL, one for the logo, and one for the company name. We'll need to replace each of these with the actual values. Add a webhook at the end. First, go back to your n8n workflow and copy the webhook URL from the chat trigger node. Paste that URL into the chat widget HTML under the section named webhook URL. Next, upload your company logo and get its image URL. Paste that into the logo field in the code. Finally, add your company name. This is what shows at the top of the chat widget. Click Save and you already see the widget appear at the bottom right of the CodePen preview with your logo and name. So before you test the chat, you need to go to the workflow and activate the workflow. Now let's test the chat widget. Click on Start Chat. It should ask for a name and email before letting the visitor proceed. You can enter dummy values for the name and email. Now I get an error. I couldn't connect to server. Usually expected, but at this stage we could have missed something. We just need to add one more node inside n8n to handle empty initial messages that trigger the webhook before a user types anything. So we'll have to correct that. So to correct that, we add a conditional node. So in n8n, add an if node, which is a conditional node, after the chat trigger. Now configure it to check if chat input and string exists. Now, if the chat input exists, it goes to the AI agent. If not, it goes to a fallback webhook response. Now, in the expression, you need to add a JavaScript or JSON for the chat input. And once you do this, then you go back. Now, if the string exists, right, it has to go from the if node and directly to the AI agent through edit fields. Else, it has to go through a webhook, which gives you an output saying that there is no string. Now let's try this again. Let's just enter the name, the email, and then, oh, we get an error again. So there must be something else wrong. In the false path, add a respond to webhook node. And in this node, we will be looking at JSON, which is respond with a custom JSON, which is in the response body. And this we get from the links document that I have in the description. You just have to scroll a bit. You'll find something which says webhook needed, and that is the JSON. So it's just an output which says, hi there, how I can assist you today. This is just a false thing. If it doesn't have a string that exists, it goes to this particular response body. Right, we just paste it over there, take out the empty space, and then we go back. Oh, we don't need this response code, we just delete it, and then we go back to the canvas, and here we are. All right. Now go back to CodePen, reload the preview, and try the chat again. Start the chat, enter your name and email, and now it should work. No more errors. Oh, but we're going to get another error because of something else. Let me just check this. Okay, so I checked this and I think it's because of this particular thing. I haven't put a camel case for chat input. So the I has to be a capital. So these small little things are things that can, come up and you'll just have to debug it. Just have to be a little used to these errors so that you can debug it faster. That's about it. Okay, now let's move to the full chat flow, which let's test the full chat flow. Now, let's ask again what products you have or anything similar to that. And the AI agent should respond with the products from your Google Sheet, which is the source. So the AI accesses the product descriptions, understands the tone, the intent, and replies with the most relevant answer with the product, which is also relevant. You can also style the widget by picking a color picker. I've created one. It's a color palette basically, and you can understand that it has the shades of colors that you can actually use. You can use this. I mean, there are many others also, but I just created this because I just wanted to create it and use something which is already residing on my server. So I just created that for that purpose. Once once you're happy with the design, of the entire widget, grab the complete HTML widget code from CodePen, and on your actual website, you can, if it's WordPress, then you just need to paste it in the body tag of your page. And I usually use a widget for that, which is headers and footers. And once I go into headers and footers, which is in settings, and you go to the plugin settings and you scroll down, you click on headers and footers, and then you scroll down and paste the code in the footer section and save your changes. Now you visit your website and you'll see the chat widget is live and ready to sell products 24 by 7. And believe me, this is the coolest thing ever because you don't have to be there at all. And it's understanding your customer. And you can make this even better by attaching a few more workflows in n8n so that it can respond in an even better way. And all the questions that you ask are assimilated in the AI engine, that's OpenAI, and then it is taken into Supabase, which is the long term memory that we discussed, and it is segregated and stored in each column of that database, like you see over here. So now you built a fully self learning AI assistant for sales using n8n, OpenAI, Supabase, and Google Sheets with no coding at all. I mean, little coding, but that's not called coding. It's just expressions. So it answers questions, recommends products, sends links, stores insights, and learns from every chat. So if you like this tutorial and want more like this, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you so much.